The British Touring Car Championship made its annual visit to Oulton Park this weekend, with the rest of the field trying to work out how to stop runaway championship leader Ash Sutton. Sutton came into the weekend with a 57-point lead over reigning champion Tom Ingram, while the MB Motorsport Toyota Corolla of Gordon Shedden and Mikey Doble's LKQ car parts with PowerMax Racing Audi came into Oulton Park tied for the lead of the Independence Championship, 2 and 3 points ahead of WSR duo Daryl DeLeon and Charles Rainford. On Saturday, Dan Camish inherited the race to pole victory after MB Motorsport's Aaron Taylor-Smith was penalised for weaving to drop to 5th, with Speedworks Corolla's Josh Cook second ahead of Sutton and Ingram. Camish would go on to take victory in race 1 on Sunday ahead of Cook and Ingram, with a collision between Cook and Sutton at Cascades on lap 1 sending Sutton to the midfield. He recovered to 7th behind Independence winner Taylor-Smith and the LKQ Euro car parts with PowerMax Racing Audis of Aidan Moffat and Mikey Doble. Team Virtue's Tom Shilton was 8th and followed home by a fellow Hyundai as Chris Smiley's Restart Racing i30 was 9th ahead of De Leon. Sutton would recover from his hiccup in race 1 to dominate race 2 on soft tyres for his 5th win of the season, but he was followed home by 2 excellent hard tyre shod drives in Ingram and Napa teammate Camish, who continued his excellent weekend with 3rd place. Taylor-Smith made contact with Tom Chilton, which saw the Irishman drop to 18th courtesy of a post-race penalty, but he was 7th on the road after a surprising lack of pace. De Leon spent most of the race trying to get past, and a late move saw him take 4th overall and the Independence win. Mikey Doble and Gordon Shedden sent Taylor-Smith down to 7th on the road, whilst Ricky Collard in the Virtue Hyundai was 7th ahead of Steel Seal with PowerMax Racing's Dexter Patterson. Rainford was 9th ahead of Napa Racing's Sam Osborne to round out the top 10. Sutton, who had to take hard tyres in race 3, drew ball number 11 in the reverse grid to put Restart Racing's Chris Smiley on pole position. The Northern Irishman's task on hard tyres would not be easy, and he dropped to 7th as an incident-filled race that saw Taylor-Smith spin early on at turn 1 and collect cataclean with Plato Racing's Adam Morgan, with both drivers out on the spot. That brought the safety car out, and Rainford made his move on Smiley around the outside on the run to Cascade straight after the restart. Collard and Ingram passed their fellow Hyundai shortly after, before another safety car was thrown for a collision between the luckless Chilton and Lewis Selby at Cascades. Dan Camish and Josh Cook were 4th and 5th at race end, the latter recovering from 15th on the grid, whilst Cataclean Plato Racing's Dan Rowbottom was 6th in his Mercedes after a late move on Smiley. Dexter Patterson was 8th, while Sutton recovered to 9th on his hard tyres ahead of Moffat. All of that means Sutton's points lead is cut to 48 points ahead of Ingram, while Camish moves up to 3rd ahead of race 3 winner Rainford. Alliance Napa Racing Ford still have a strong lead in the Manufacturers' Championship, while they retain a firm grip on the Teams' Championship ahead of Team Virtue Racing. It is all change in a congested Independence Championship, as pre-weekend leaders Gordon Shedden and Aidan Moffat dropped to 4th and 5th respectively. Mikey Doble has a 5-point lead at the top of the standings, ahead of WSR duo Daryl DeLeon and Charles Rainford. LKQ Euro car parts with PowerMax Racing have a 1-point lead over WSR in the Independent Teams Championship, with Laser Tools Racing with MB Motorsport a further 15 points back and Restart Racing still in contention. Dexter Patterson has a 7-point lead over James Dorlin in the Jack Sears Trophy.